Hi, my name's Jessie Wild.
And I'm Jez Sweetland.
And this is about the kind of time of year where we would normally do our quarterly networking events, but obviously given current circumstances, we are resorting to a video update to let you know what's going on with the Bristol Housing Festival.
Yeah, so we're disappointed that we can't gather in person with you. We really enjoyed our last event, which was kindly supported by Wimbledon, Dickinson and Turley. It was great getting everyone together to share updates and also, as importantly, network. So forgive us this time, we're going to do it in a digital way, but we did want to update you and just keep those connections. And also in the context of COVID-19, I think remain positive about the kind of system change and the opportunity to build the kind of housing that the Bristol needs as we move forward.
So let me start with an update on the Trinity Competition, because I know a few of you have been really interested about where that's got to. Unfortunately, due to COVID, there have been a few delays in the shortlisting process. So instead of being in May, the shortlisting announcement is going to be later in June, but we will announce when we have the final shortlist. So do watch our social media for that, because that will be coming up next.
As you know, that one of the focuses of the Bristol Housing Festival as well is about really talking about the stories of success in the city. And we're really thrilled with the work that United Communities and that team have done in putting together Launchpad, working with that whole collaboration of partners to make that happen. And we've been delighted that we've been able to go back and revisit Launchpad with those partners and do some interviews with the residents. And we'd really encourage, you can see those on our YouTube page, but we'd really encourage you to check them out because, of course, at the end of the day, this isn't just about building homes. It's actually about how those homes support people's lives and create actually real opportunity for them. And one of the great things about Launchpad is exactly how it's doing that. And some of the young people speaking about the impacts and the experience that those homes have given to them and the opportunity that's had for them to kind of re-establish really good boundaries and opportunities in their lives. So check out the YouTube clip and you'll see some great videos about testimonies on there from Launchpad.
So one of the other projects we wanted to update you on was the Zed Pods project. So we have 11 Zed Pods coming to Bristol, really excitingly, and they're going to sit on stilts above the car park on Chalks Road, and it's the car park for the St George Park. Now, due to COVID, there have been a couple of delays, but the factory have been working really hard to implement social distancing to make sure that these homes can still be produced in the factory to keep us on schedule and on track. And so we haven't lost too much time at all. So these homes are still due to make their way to Bristol in the summer. So do watch out for those coming. We are posting updates about this project on our website as we learn about them, as we hear more about them. So if you do want kind of the most up-to-date information, do visit the project page for Zed Pods on our website. We've been really impressed by the way that so many people have come together to make this project work. It's been a real collaborative effort, which we're really, really excited to see coming to its end. And we're really excited to see the actual Zed Pods on the car park, really not too far away and not too much in the distant future. So if you are off on one of your daily walks, social distancing, obviously, if you live in the local area, take a walk past the St George Park car park and have a look and see what you can spot over the next few months as these Zed Pods come to Bristol. We're looking forward to being able to show everybody photos of them as they're going up and being able to celebrate when they're actually complete and we can have people move into them. We're really looking forward to that. All right, one of the other things we wanted to flag with you is some reports that we've been able to publish recently. So I'm going to hand over to Ellen, who's going to tell us a bit more about these.
Thanks, Jessie. So my name is Ellen and I'm part of the Bristol Housing Festival team. I just wanted to give you an update on a piece of R&D that we've recently completed in the last quarter with Bristol City Council. The City Council were awarded a piece of grant funding from the local government authority last year as part of their Building Council Houses programme. Outside of this research, Bristol City Council had 3 specific questions about the implementation of MMC housing solutions, which were these. Given that there are numerous MMC products and solutions available and more coming to the market, certainly more coming to our attention all the time, how do you identify which solutions might be appropriate for any given site? Secondly, given that the procurement of MMC is less than straightforward, what have other local authorities done to successfully deliver MMC elsewhere in the country? And is this something that we could replicate here in Bristol? And thirdly, are there examples elsewhere in the country where MMC has been used to deliver exceptional levels of social value. So 2 pieces of research were then commissioned. Firstly, the Building Research Establishment, the BRE, were asked to develop a prototype tool that would output a list of MMC options. The tool worked by overlaying information about manufacturers' products with information about a specific site in terms of project requirements or specific site constraints to produce a list of suitable options. In February this year, we ran a user testing workshop with part of the City Council's housing development team. And following that workshop and some feedback that was given to the BRE, there's now a second version of that tool that we're looking to do some further testing with. Secondly, Arcadis were commissioned with identifying and unpacking a number of case study examples where MMC have been successfully delivered by other local authorities elsewhere in the country, specifically projects with a high emphasis on delivering social value. Off the back of this research, Arcadis have produced a report which not only highlights some of the common challenges, but makes a number of key recommendations based on ultimately on the success and the learning of local authorities elsewhere. All this research is available on the Housing Festival website, and we're working with the Housing Festival Working Group inside Bristol City Council to find opportunities to implement some of the recommendations and develop the BRE's tool a bit further.
Following on from the LGA reports that were commissioned through BCC, we're really delighted as well to announce that we've been successful in partnering with Bristol City Council, with BRE, with YTKO, and a whole host of other partners with an Innovate UK bid. And that project has actually already started, and we've got a year to really get cracking on that. And essentially the Innovate UK bid is exciting, I think, for two principal reasons. It's a kind of opportunity to escalate the work that Bristol is already doing and is getting a reputation, I think, nationally for taking a real kind of lead on the MMC delivery and how we can scale that and replicate some of those models. But it's also allowing us to work in a wider collaboration across the city. So there are really 2 elements to the Innovate UK bid. I think the first is that there are a series of 9 modular partners that we're working with, and they range from those full volumetric players such as your Booklook and your L&Gs through to some of the really important local SMEs like Snug and Noah West Media Centre. And what we're trying to do is see how working collaboratively you can bring all those players together, because each one of those has an important contribution, we believe, to make in terms of the housing crisis. And of course, in the middle of that, we've got a lot of those sort of panelised systems that we're working with. So people like Totally Modular and others and Zed Pods. So there's the scale in there to really look at this story and understand as we build those, measuring some of the KPIs, because as we all know, one of the challenges with innovation is you do need that data, that evidence base to demonstrate what can really be delivered and therefore what can be established and safely replicated. So that's one element to the bid. The other element to the bid is, of course, this whole enabling and looking at the blockers to why is MMC not really taking off yet in the UK. And huge courage here, and plaudits really again to Bristol City Council, who are a key enabler of this. And there's 2 elements to this side of the bid. The one is obviously BCC themselves are exploring some of these sites and some of these modern methods for their own sites through the HRA. So they're taking a kind of lead role there. But secondly, one of the things that we want to do is look at this change requirement, systemic change. What is it about the current existing system about how we build homes that isn't an easy fit for modular systems, and where do we start to need to look differently at both the way that we procure things, the way that we look at the legal frameworks, the funding flows, all of those blockers where we want to use the Innovate UK bid to build more knowledge and capacity and kind of institutional experience about how we unblock those and create a toolkit that can allow both Bristol City Council but arguably other local authorities to really build on that evidence and build on that experience of unblocking MMC and of course ultimately creating and aggregating that demand pipeline, which allows the movement from that traditional build process into a more of a manufacturing build process. And then finally, one of the other outcomes of the bid from this is around understanding how we can digitize some of that process. So we're working both with Arcadis on this as well, who've already got an incredible piece of a toolkit around some of the planning system, but also moving from that into how do we help local authorities really create efficiency in their process, and looking at that selection methodology that we're building on from the LGA process, about how do you start to create really good business case and robust understanding about what those different modular systems can give you and how that would start to match up to certain sites. So it's a big project. I think the total fund is about £3.1 million. And out of that, we're looking at delivering a whole number of homes across Bristol. But of course, ultimately, what it's really about is also getting into the real guts of this around how do you enable more MMC? What are the blockers? How can we take away those barriers? And also, how can we start to get that real data that will give other people more confidence to partner with and develop and deliver more MMC across the UK?
Yes, so the Innovate UK project, being led by YTKO, is a really exciting project and is bringing together a consortium of multiple different partners, as Jez said, and we're really excited about this project and to be involved. We will keep you up to date and posted on all the updates as we have them. We will be putting things out on social media, and we will be keeping our web page updated on that. So if you are interested and there's some information you want that you can't find, do get in touch with us and we will see if we can answer your question. The other question that's on everybody's mind is about the expo with the Bristol Housing Festival. Over the last couple of years, we've hosted an expo in October down on the waterfront in Bristol city centre. And we were planning to do one again in October 2020. Unfortunately, due to COVID, we are going to have to press pause on that and postpone it. We will be looking to do a large-scale expo sometime in 2021, and we will be hoping to bring you a showcase of modern methods of construction houses, again, down in the centre of Bristol, and we're already starting to plan for that. So I won't say too much more now, but do watch out for more information as it comes out. For now, though, we are on the hunt for people that want to be involved. So we're looking for partners, we're looking for sponsors, we're looking for products and house builders that want to exhibit at the festival. Do get in touch with me. You can find my email address online or go to our website, and there is a hello at email address that you can use as well, and we'll get your email to me. But I'm really interested to hear from all sorts of people that might want to be involved.
Yeah, and just to say thank you to all of our partners and collaborators. We really do see the Bristol Housing Festival as a kind of a canopy that we want to sort of use to celebrate good news stories of housing in the city. We recognise that the Bristol Housing Festival to be successful needs to be something that we all engage in and use as an opportunity to celebrate good news stories. So if you are involved in sort of positive stories that are bringing positive social change to Bristol, and the two areas we tend to focus on is how is that innovative in terms of the construction methodology, but also looking again at how is it innovative in terms of building great places, building great community, and ultimately improving, I suppose, the emotional, mental and physical well-being of our population, because housing has such a key and important contribution to play. And of course, COVID-19 has only kind of drawn highlights to how important it is that we are building the right type of housing and creating the right type of places. So if you're involved in those kind of projects, we'd love to celebrate them with you and learn with you, because it's something we really want to use to showcase really the innovation that's happening within our city and help other people really catch that story and catch the opportunity to innovate. So sending everybody the best wishes, and thanks for staying in touch. We look forward to, as it were, meeting in person very soon.
Yeah, thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video, and we hope to hear from you soon.